Like anything cool, unusual, different that you would share?
That I went to elementary school on the castle grounds of Windsor Castle, where I grew up in England.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Ramos Law Difference Makers podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Jim Hoven, and today I'm going to introduce you to someone who I have known in a different capacity for many, many, many years ago and haven't had a chance to connect with him, and now we're connected in a whole new way. So before I keep teasing that one, but before I go into it, thank you guys so much for joining us. I know that so many of you have followed us over these last 250 episodes that we've done, and you've sent great feedback and great questions. So this is going to be an episode about exploration, stories, learning, and you're going to hear some really, really cool news as well. So before we get going, I just want to tell you, if you like this, please do all the little things that you guys do. Hit the send me notifications button, the bells, the sounds, send this to people, forward it, do all those kinds of things like we ask you to do all the time, because that's how we're going to keep making a difference, is if you'll share the message. But anyway, with that commercial over, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. Paul Wilkinson is his name. He's a local attorney, and now we have some special news that we're going to bring out together to you. But first, introductions are in order. Paul Wilkinson, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, you and I first met decades ago.
Sure.
Decades ago. So I was, a lot of these folks know this from the podcast, but I was a practicing chiropractor, and we did some cases together from what I had. And I remember meeting you in your office on kind of Colorado Boulevard area down there, and just being really impressed by some of the things that you had done and the way that you were doing law when I was doing chiropractic and the medicine side, and was really excited to work with you. What do you really what drives you as a PI attorney? What are the things that made you decide to go into personal injury as an attorney? Because it sure impressed me when I met you for the first time.
Sure. For me, it was almost singular. It's the clients. I love being around the clients. There's a lot of lawyers that like being like the head in the books. And for me, it was always about the clients. It's just the ability to change someone's life. And that's a really, really cool thing.
Did you always have that? How did you know you wanted to go to law in the first place as opposed to all things? Because I want to get into your background, because I've had the chance to visit with you and learn some of your history, which is fantastic. But what was it that drew you in to be a lawyer in the first place and then onto the personal injury side?
Sure. It was probably my experience in undergraduate. I went to University of Texas at Arlington in Texas, and I'd just gotten out of the military. Where I was a meteorologist, and I'd actually considered being like a TV weatherman. And during my course at college, I switched my major to criminology. I got really interested in the law. I had some great professors, and they kind of steered me towards law school. And the more I got to think about it, the more it seemed like the thing to do.
Well, you know what? When we were talking months ago, I was really impressed by some of the things I learned about you in the military. So first of all, thank you for your service. And I know that you learned a lot from that experience. Whenever I have people that are either in special forces, military, law enforcement, I always like to drill into that a little bit, because that takes a special kind of commitment, a special kind of mentality to do well in that environment. And then it sets you up for success in the future. What made you decide to go into the military, and what did you take from that that's helped you kind of along the path to where you are today?
Yeah. I probably needed it. I was a bit of a troubled kid, behavioral issues. I always had good grades. I had gone to military boarding school when I was a kid, Marine Corps, also Army. And I seemed to thrive in that environment of structure.
Yes.
So I joined the military on my 17th birthday. And I was actually, I think, the youngest person in the Air Force for a little bit.
Was that allowed, or did you have to make your birth date up? Like, how did you get in at 17? Or did they say, well, you're signing up now, but we'll
No, I was 17. You have to have your parents' permission. They have to sign.
Okay.
And for the Air Force, you have to have a high school diploma or equivalent.
Yes.
Which is what I did. I'm originally from England,
Yep.
so I had my British school transcripts translated into an American diploma. But I kind of thrive with that structure, and I did really well with that.
So you went in early.
Yes.
And how long were you in the military?
Just 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
I got out a little bit early, honorably. The Berlin Wall had come down in, I think, 1989, and the U.S. was actually reducing the size of the military. So there were a certain amount of people that could get out, and I wanted to go to college. I paid into the GI Bill, and so I applied to get out early and did.
Okay. And so then you actually went through your training, and you have some experience in the insurance world as well.
Yes.
And so how did those two connect?
Well, essentially, after undergrad, I went to law school at Syracuse University. And after I graduated from Syracuse, I wasn't sure if I wanted to go into law right away, and I knew I wanted to do personal injury. So I thought, well, what better way than become an insurance adjuster and learn the other side? And so that's what I did for about 2.5 years. I worked as an insurance adjuster on the commercial side. So I did restaurants, commercial trucking, general liability policies. I even did small municipalities, and that really, really set me up for success in the PI world.
Yeah, I'm sure, because it would help you understand two things, I would think. One is, if you want to call it the other side's playbook to a degree, but also those are, when you were an adjuster, you're just as much of a human as you are as an attorney, as you are as a person who you might represent in either situation. So being on that side, you realize they're human too. And it probably, I would imagine, helped you know how to negotiate and work with them in a positive way, as well as help them know some of the tricks on both sides.
Yeah, a lot of what you're doing as an insurance adjuster is dealing with unrepresented people. So you're having to educate them on what the law is every time.
Yes.
If they have an attorney, the attorney knows the law, so the communications are pretty simple.
Right.
But with unrepresented individuals, you really need to educate them and kind of take them through that process.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so when you first got out, I know that you didn't open up Paul Wilkinson Law Firm right away.
No.
You went into other firms. What did you learn as a junior associate going through the ranks that helped you get the foundation, the skill set, the confidence to then kind of open up your own business?
Sure. I was very lucky to have some special mentors through early in my career. The first one was a gentleman named Quentin. I was working in Dallas, Texas. And he was a prosecutor that had tried, I think, over 300 cases.
Goodness, which is a huge number.
Yeah.
Huge.
And felony, like murder trials.
Wow.
And so he was able to take me under his wing and teach me litigation. And then I had another mentor named David, who owned a law firm, who I worked for. And he was a marketing guy, a business guy. And he really got me into the marketing side of things, took me under his wing, how to grow a business. We actually started a business together that was successful for a little while. It was interesting. And so I had all these different people, and it really led me to have an interest in starting my own firm when the time was right.
Yeah. And what year did you start your own firm, Paul?
It was 2011.
Yeah, so 15 years ago. And through that time, again, I remember, working with you in lots of different ways and watching your impact in the community grow from afar, right? Like, we didn't hang out or anything, but just seeing the impact that you were making. You were in two things, I think, and this is something that we at Ramos Law, and I'm so thankful for us being together in this time because of where we're heading together as, you and I and our groups. I always tell people we want to be known by the community, but we also want to be known within the community. And for a good part of the last decade, you've been known by the community through advertisements on TV, radio, billboards, the whole thing. But I know also your heart, and one of the things that you're best known for, kind of your reputation, is that you will go anywhere, anytime in order to serve a client.
Yes.
If that means that you have to go visit them in their home or in a hospital or wherever it is, to help them, bring your expertise right tableside or knee to knee, if you will. That's been your claim to fame, where so many people, they say they're willing to do that, but at the end of the day, they don't do that. Has that always been a part of your DNA?
Yeah, 100%. I actually love meeting with clients. Not all attorneys do.
Yes.
I challenge you with some of the bigger ones that you see out there, see if you can actually talk to them. And with me, you can talk to me. I will come sit down with you. I will come to your house. I I've driven as far as Kansas City to go visit a client during COVID. That was an experience, but I've always enjoyed that side of it. I want to sit down with the client. I think what too many attorneys sometimes miss is just asking a client, what is it you're wanting?
Yes. What are you wanting out of this?
Out of this.
Mm-hmm. What are your answers? When you typically hear, I'm sure there's a range of answers. What are the ones that you see mostly? Because if someone's watching or listening and they're like, why would I need an attorney and how would I choose a good one? They might never have thought, what do I want out of this?
Yeah, I think a lot of clients just want to know that they've been heard and that there's some sort of resolution to make them whole. And that's not just monetarily. I know we deal in money, but they want to feel like they were made better, that they were made whole, and that someone cares.
Yes. And I'll tell you what, if I draw on my own personal experience with this, my wife, Shauna, who you've had a chance to visit with a little bit, she actually was in a car crash, hit by a drunk driver. And we had, that person's insurance wasn't enough to cover her $106,000 of medical bills. So then we have to rely on our underinsured motorist coverage. And her biggest complaint was it felt like nobody was listening on the insurance side. It felt like they didn't care about her. Even when it came to our own insurance that we'd been paying for all this time, they weren't being receptive. They weren't being open. They weren't being communicating. So, and thank God, we had Ramos Law. This was before I was, any involvement with the business here. It was when, when I was in the chiropractic side of things, we chose Ramos Law because of that very thing, because we needed someone to communicate. And as it turns out, that was her biggest misgiving with the insurance carriers, was it seemed like A, they didn't care, and B, they didn't want to listen to her after what she had gone through when it wasn't her fault. And that's what I hear you saying.
Yeah, the whole process can be that way with insurance companies and with a lot of attorneys too. The number one complaint with the Supreme Court about attorneys is lack of communication.
Yes.
And I'm a big believer in that, and having communication with the client, having them understand, having them feel better.
I agree. And it was because of the values that you have shown and that you then spread down through your team. They align really closely with our values. So we started talking a long time ago about what would be the possibilities of us working together in this time. And I am so thankful, proud, and grateful to say that we're going to be working together. We're partners.
Yes.
And so the two firms are coming together, and we're going to be doing exciting things. This is a huge moment for us as a law firm to be able to say that we're combining with the likes of a Paul Wilkinson and the Paul Wilkinson Law Firm. It's one of the proudest moments, actually, since in my time here, to know that we can find a partner that, like you said, not all attorneys are created equal, not all anything is created equal, but in our industry, to find what Dr. Ramos would call equally yoked partners is not easy. And so for us to come to this point is so exciting. What are you most excited about, you and your team? I mean, you guys have a good-sized law firm, and you do a lot of cases, and you help a lot of people. Now we're just going to amplify all of those things for our clients with what you bring to the table and what we bring to the table. What are you most excited about?
Two things. I would say resources and talent. Just being able to have more resources together and bringing talent together.
Yes.
It's always fun to have a lot of talent and to be able to talk to different people. And when you're in a smaller firm, there's only so many people you can talk to.
Yes.
And so being able to pick the mind of other people. But it's really resources and talent. I think it's going to be great.
That's exciting. And we are so excited to be able to lean on you and your team for the expertise that you have. I know that you have Steve on your team, who was also on the insurance side, even as recently as a couple of years ago, and knows all those people. And with Jonathan and Matthew, all the team, and we've gotten a chance to get together. Just the level of talent and expertise there, it's insanely cool. So we're looking forward to leaning into that as well, to making us better. And what we think that basically, here's our philosophy. The tide lifts all boats, right? And you guys bring in a whole bunch more water into the tide, and that's going to raise the boats for our clients, for the people that we can serve, the way that we can leverage our messaging and our impact of our 5 core values. It just perfectly dovetails. And so that's what I'm so excited about, because the fact that you are a veteran, you understand. The fact that you've seen the insurance's playbook on one side and know how to negotiate and communicate and work through situations with them. That excites me. And you've built that into the ethos of your team all the way down the line. So, I know you shared what you're excited for. That's what I and what we're excited for. What we're going to do together is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So, if you, to get people to know you a little bit, what is it that you love to do outside of work?
I have a couple of interests. I like architecture and art. I'm an art collector of like new artists, contemporary artists.
Okay.
So I go to galleries and I do acquire pieces, and my house is kind of just a big gallery at this
Eclectic
point.
with all kinds of cool stuff on it.
Yeah, and I collect furniture, mid-century.
Yeah.
I'm also a big music person. I collect vinyl.
Yes.
I have a record player. So.
And we were talking about music the other day together, and some of the genres you love most and some of the bands you love most, a lot of people may not have heard of, but that they just speak to you based on the type of music that they play.
Yeah.
And you're a big sports guy.
Big sports guy.
Favorites?
All Denver sports. Mostly football, professional. Then college, Syracuse, so basketball, football.
Oh, yeah.
Big
Who's your favorite
Avalanche.
Syracuse athlete?
Syracuse athlete, Donovan McNabb.
Oh,
probably.
Donovan McNabb. I thought you might say a Carmelo in there, but Donovan, I'd say I would agree with you. Donovan, that's good.
Yeah, or Jim Brown.
Jim Brown, can't go wrong with Jim Brown. Yeah, he's the ultimate athlete with all his stuff with lacrosse and everything else in football. With respect to family, you have beautiful family, and I know you adore spending time with them, and you guys are doing cool things together. You want to share anything about those guys?
Sure. I've been married to my lovely wife, Heather, for...
Hi, Heather.
Hi. For 18 years. And we have one daughter, Margot. She is 13 years old.
Yeah.
She's going into the 8th grade. 2 little pups, Wizard and Winter. So that's kind of our little family.
Yeah. You're a big animal guy, too?
Yeah.
I love animals. We have a huge dog. His name is Tank, and he's about 195 pounds, and I just love on him every single day. So I'm a big dog guy. I know that when you get those little ones in your life, the little fur babies, they steal your heart just like our human babies do a lot of times.
I'd never been a dog guy until I met my wife. I always had cats.
Okay, yeah.
And she was allergic.
Okay.
So now I'm a dog guy.
Now you're a dog guy. You're still a cat guy, but just can't really have them.
I've had fish. I used to keep a big saltwater tank.
Ooh.
Which is pretty complicated.
It is. That's why I said, ooh, that's not an easy deal.
Yeah. So love animals.
Do you like being outside?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I go camping.
Okay.
I'm getting a little bit too old for sleeping on the ground.
I'm with you. Me too. Me too.
But I do like getting out there. I
Yeah.
used to have a cabin up in the mountains.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like getting out there.
Cool. If there was a piece of advice that you'd been given sometime throughout your life that has either had a huge impact on you or that you've learned along the way that you'd like to share with people watching and listening, what would that piece of advice be?
Sure. The first lawyer I ever worked for, a guy named Angel Reyes, he's in Dallas, used to say to me, Paul, no ASCII, no Getty. If you don't ask for something, you don't get it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think it's the old Wayne Gretzky thing is you can't score a goal without taking a shot.
Yes.
You know? So no ASCII, no Getty.
I like that. Have you used that a lot in your process of developing your business and your life? And
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to reach out and take things and ask.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? Too many people, kind of sit there and want something but never ask for it.
Right.
And, you never know.
You never know. And interestingly enough, on that point, you wonder sometimes, because if you don't ask, people don't know what your needs, wants, or expectations are, right? And so if you ask, at least it puts you in the same ballpark of if they can help you. Yeah. And I find that if people don't ask, it's such a good point. If they don't ask for something, then nobody knows that they're looking for something. And then you're doing it all on your own. You're trying to grind it out, do everything behind the scenes on your own versus saying, hey, could I get help here? Or could you give me this? Or could I get a discount here? Like you say, all they can say is no. But in the meantime, you might start getting a band of brothers and sisters around you that make that whole achievement of tasks so much easier and more efficient.
You'd be surprised how often the answer is yes.
Yes. What about mentors? Are you a guy that you talked about early in your career, a lot of mentoring? Do you still look to learn from certain people, or are you into reading or gathering information to continue your growth? What do you think about mentorship?
Yeah, I'm always talking to people, that I respect in my life, reaching out to them for advice. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and how about passing that wisdom down? Do you find that helpful sometimes. I know in our position, we get a lot of people asking for internships, so they'll get mentored from attorneys. We'll go do speaking engagements, and people will ask us if we might be able to mentor them in certain areas of their, part of whatever they're doing. And I find that it's an honor, and all of us are super busy, but if I can spend some time sharing my experience now, I'm 57 now, so I know things and I've had experience that I didn't have when I was 27 or 17. So if someone is interested and they want that, it's actually a joy for me to share whatever I have and to tell them, look, you shouldn't do what I did, follow my path. Just take what I've learned and apply it to your foundation. Take what you like, leave what you don't like. But then you're on your own path, but you're getting shortcuts necessarily to not having to beat your head against the wall quite as much. So I'm a big fan of that.
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to help. If someone asks, I will definitely mentor.
I love that too. And what else, if someone were to meet you, because I'm sure a lot of people seeing this, if they're local, they will recognize you and they will feel like they know you from the kind of the celebrity status, right? Of seeing you on TV or whatever. What might they not know about you that they'd be surprised about? Is there anything you'd be like, wow, I would have never even thought that? Like anything cool, unusual, different that you would share?
That I went to elementary school on the castle grounds of Windsor Castle, where I grew up in England.
What?
And I had to be let in the gates of the castle every day when I was a kid, and I've met the Queen Mother when I was a child.
Come on.
Yeah.
Did you understand what that was at the time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it was a big deal.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And did that have any impact? Like, was your family blown away? And were they like, oh, you better?
Oh, it was intentional by my mother. So there was a private elementary school within the castle grounds, and it's for employees of the Queen that have children.
Yes.
And every year, I'm from that town.
Yeah.
And every year they accept about 3 to 5 local kids as a goodwill gesture.
Yeah.
And my mom had put me on the list, and I was accepted.
Wow. That's incredible. Did your folks make a bunch of sacrifices to try to make that happen?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too.
Yeah, and I went to a traditional boarding school after that in England.
Okay.
Kind of Harry Potter style.
Yeah. How was that? Did you like
It was great.
that?
I loved it.
It was cool?
Yeah.
Didn't mind being away from home?
From the time I was 7 years old.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. I don't know anyone who's been to boarding school that long.
Yeah, I loved it.
It was good.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Are your parents still with us? They still alive?
Yeah, both my mom and my dad.
Are they
my dad's
in
England. My
Okay.
mom lives near Lake Tahoe.
Okay. So do you share some of those stories with them of back in the day? And
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Oh, man, that's so cool. It's, I don't know, it's so good to get a visit with you, Paul, and let people see the personal side of you and kind of what you're about and what we're about. Because again, as we do this venture together, I think it gets really easy for people to go, oh yeah, Ramos Law, Wilkinson Law, they're just grinding now. They're all about business, but we're all just people first, right? And we all have families, and so when we keep that as the main thing, it allows us to really put that at the center of how we do our business too. So I can't thank you enough for sharing some of the insights about you and your story and what you're about. But yeah, I'm excited. I know that we're excited as a law firm to welcome the Paul Wilkinson Law Firm in with us into our arms, our stable. We're all going to be together doing some amazing work together. And the rest,
wait.
I'll tell you, the rest of 2025 and beyond is going to be phenomenal.
Yep.
So, Paul, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate you taking some time. And now we'll get back to work. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. You got to see Paul Wilkinson, understand him a little bit better. If you have any questions about the law firm, about us, about either one of us personally, please shoot me an email, jim@ramoslaw.com. Also, if you have other thoughts of guests you might like to have on the show, if you have other topics that you'd like to see, just let us know and we will arrange it. Again, we've done over 250 episodes at this point. And it's all about making a difference. That is the name of the show, Difference Makers Podcast. And so we want to do that in your life and as many lives as we can. So if you have an idea, let us know. And until the next time we meet, you get out there and keep making a difference.